Ki khubor ka Batesi TV.
Ka umdi basnyambat penjaslian. Rupa Premium Meghalaya. Ka East West Group of Institution Bangalore, ka Koit admission nagbenta ka nursing but paramedical course, ka bala itu da ka Indian Nursing Council, ka buy admission ka badunatam, but 6% ka jinyokam. Pila ru ban apply da ka education loan.
Kamukam College Shillong ka Koit admission haki degree but diploma course Pynlong chef hotelier but QA ban dep khap mania fila ban call haki niki number.
Ka Carey University Meghalaya hak arpu artarik jemang arajar pesan kala Pynlong ya ka national seminar ka pa arsngi Halor kapang community mental health services for well-being of society bala Pynlong da ka School of Professional Studies haringkat ka jingitay lang baka entrepreneurship development cell Carey University Meghalaya la pli ka ni ka national seminar da ka district child protection officer ka kongmati ling kasiar wajri kabalong ru ka member secretary jong ka child welfare committee district child protection unit East Khasiels district hagan ni kasngi lai shimantalang da ka vice chancellor jong ka university ka Dr. Sumo Bhomik kinong hikai bat kisamla puli jong ka ni ka school ba.
On the dais for lighting the lamp.
is very complicated. However, it is also very, very delicate and fragile. That if it is not taken care of, it affects our health, not only mental health, but finally it pierces our physical health also. The Bible contains several aspects, several verses, which speaks about our mind, how we can keep our mind healthy. Indian scriptures, ancient scriptures like the Upanishads, the Vedas, also has many, many areas which focuses on keeping the mental well-being of the individual. Are we more concerned about our outward well-being? Do we do enough to take care of our mental health? So on and so forth. These are the questions which always comes to our mind. But are we courageous enough to speak about them? We have to ask ourselves. This seminar, we are going to delve into those issues. Now the state, when I say the state, I mean the country. Our country and its system has got several areas, several aspects which provides mental health support for individuals, which finally comes to the well-being of the society. We shall discuss community health situations and how it affects the society. But the central point of all this discussion is definitely you and I. Today, this afternoon, we shall listen to Dr. Grace of Department of Psychology, that she speaks about the kind of mental health support that the university provides and offers to the community. The state and the government has got several areas, several systems that supports mental health well-being of individuals as well as the community. It's not only the state, it is also civil societies, community-based organizations, educational institutions like schools, colleges, and higher educational institutions like universities, like Carey University, that we are all into this issue and we offer help to the members of the community, and finally how it contributes positively to the society. It actually is a very good feeling that this national seminar is in fact a collab between the School of Professional Studies as well as our Entrepreneurship Development Cell, Carey University, supported well by Prime Meghalaya. And this seminar actually has attracted participants from all across the country. Those who have joined us online, there are several other papers that will be presented in panel sessions in online. I see in the schedule that there are several areas that will be covered as far as mental health is concerned. Several experts will be coming and speaking to us on this issue in those 2 days. They will be sharing their experiences, their expertise with us. I believe that the deliberations that we shall have in these 2 days will provide us with better perspectives on mental health issues that we face and positively contribute to the communities and the societies. Thank you, Chairperson Sir, for this opportunity that you have provided me to give the inaugural address with the national seminar. Wish the national seminar a great success and many more to come. Kuble Shibun and Mitera. Thank you.
India is a vast country. Like 70% of the population are staying in the villages or in a small town. So, in that sense, the accessibility of mental health care is really urban-centric and mainly it is hospital-based. If you see the epidemiological studies that have been conducted all over the country, you will see the number of the prevalence and the incidence of the illnesses, psychological illnesses, including addiction. Remember, it's phenomenal. Answer is too much. I'm sure many of you might have gone through some of the important studies that were conducted recently also, where the treatment gap, for example, people are having the illness, at the same time many are not getting the treatment. So that is also another one big concern. Like I said, most of the public health infrastructures and the services related to mental health care are somehow very deficient. We have lack of manpower, we have lack of funds, many things. So, keeping in the background the deficiency, there are other layers which we need to take into account when we talk about mental health. Because when we are talking about community mental health in today's seminar, it is very important to have an idea of what we are talking and what we need to do. So there are layers and layers of issues. Like I was talking about the incidence and prevalence, the treatment gaps, the acute patients, in the sense like people who need urgent medical help, it might run in crores. At the same time, like I said, there are a lot of belief system in the society. It might be religious, poor health-seeking behaviors, and lack of employment, social factors. All those factors are barriers when it comes to seeking help. At the same time, now we come across a lot of youths, an important group of population who are the future of the nation. They are into addictions, a lot of young people committing suicide. So if you look at the general population, there are plenty. So now how do we go about helping these patients or these people? Now as a psychiatrist, I am mostly based in private setup or hospital setup. But at the same time, I know we need to do much more. Because if you look at the kind of patient that we see in a tertiary setup, it's totally different than what we see in a community or general setup. So that is how the challenges comes, and we also have an important now model of community mental health or community psychiatry. Now it is an evolving branch since past 5 decades. I mean, so like, I was quite lucky during my post-graduation days when I was in Bangalore. We were posted in community health center, and somehow we got a chance. At the same time, every year during my holiday, I make it a habit to have a outreach or OPD kind of health camp for psychiatry, counseling and de-addiction in my hometown Arunachal. So in some way, all of us need to contribute in some way. So now when we talk about community mental health, this is where it comes. Now, in a community mental health service or community psychiatry, what we are talking is basically all the mental health services which are beyond the confine of the hospital. When we say community psychiatry, the advantage that we see is much more than what we can do in a hospital setup or in a tertiary setup. Because here we are dealing with the person or the people who are in the community with their available resources, with their challenges which are very specific to that particular community. At the same time, if you look at the psychiatry, one of the very stumbling block in the accessing the care or when they come for a treatment, stigma, the perceived stigma, because even in today clinic, when I see my patient, the stigma associated with psychological health is so much. Even educated, even officers, they somehow find it so uncomfortable to discuss about the psychological health needs. So when we are in the community, now these are the barriers which we can work across. At the same time, lot of community-related health services, like for example, when we look at identification, research-oriented, we can have a lot of research-oriented studies because in a community psychiatry it is both intervention at the same time inquiry. So in Carey University or any university in our state, I always encourage students to do some studies related to our needs which are much more beneficial, which can have some bearing in a long-term outcome for the benefit of our people. So, in very short, if I have to say, community mental health is the need of the hour for the fact that the mental health professional deficiency is significant in all over the country. We might be around 6,000 to 7,000 for such a big population. So that way, we need to have a model where we can have much more easy reach with the community, have better understanding of their problem in their home, in their family setup, where we can involve not the patient only in the hospital, but at the community level. So at the same time, we can have the involvement of a lot of policymakers, stakeholders who have very important bearing for the program per se, for the community. So like that, there are a lot of advantages. So without going further about the various models or what exactly we are doing in community psychiatry, I sincerely thank the organizing people and all these people who are sitting here for giving me the time, and I wish for a grand success for this 2-day seminar on community mental health. Thank you.
We all know that mental health in this generation is a significant area of concern. Mental health conditions can affect anyone regardless of age, gender, race, ethnicity or socio-economic status. Mental health encompassing our emotional, psychological and social well-being is vital for a fulfilling life and should be prioritized alongside physical health. It affects how we think, how we feel, how we address or combat situations, handle stress. It impacts our ability to have a healthy or form a healthy relationship, and so on and so forth. Good mental health allow us to cope with life challenges, build positive relationship, and lead a fulfilling life. I'm very, very happy to be a part of this, to be here as a chief guest, and I wish the seminar to be a success, because in my line of work, dealing with children and an increase, what Dr. Pakha has stated in his keynote address, it is truly a fact, and we come into contact on a daily basis. We deal with individuals. I know all of you sit here, you have your individuality as a human being, and we also try to, as per the DG Act, because I deal with children, child-friendly approach, individualization, not generalization, and at the same time addressing to mental issues or mental health of children. So, when I think about mental health, we have various programs from the government addressing the issues, NGOs, educational institutions working in the field, but there are gaps. I agree to what Dr. Pakha said, because within the field, lack of manpower, and treatment gaps, where mostly it's urbanization centric. People from rural areas may not get the accessibility that they need, and what we have been facing also in the field level. And I feel like community level, when we address about communities' mental health, we address the core issue and also addressing the individuality, because I think Dr. Pakha will also agree when I say that not every person with a mental illness have the same degree of coping mechanism or leveling up, so to say. So when we talk about community, addressing mental health in the community level, I really wish we have more people working in the community to address such issues, community understanding it, yes, at the same time working, to eradicate the stigmatization. I believe I would like to narrate here, when we started off, when I first joined, I was quite young, did not know what DCPO really meant, the gravity of what I have to deal with on a daily basis. And looking back, I remember my first case when we encountered about mental illness, I said, okay, how do we go about? How do we go about it? Does this child needs to be institutionalized? In my mind, it's madness. At that point of time, really not understanding. Yes, we have studied, but really when we go to the field practicality, that was 13 years ago. And as time evolves, we know understanding. The stigmatization is always there. I remember, I have a family member, and I remember my uncle said, we have to take medication from Sankir, and I remember my grandmother at that point of time when she was alive, she said, in Kasi, is she mad that we have to take, mental illness was, I think, in those generations, it was madness in reality, but now we know that mental illness is also an issue where we have to address, because as individuals or as people of the society, we go through various forms of, let us say, as normal human beings, we go through grief, we go through loss, we go through so many other emotional setbacks, be at our workplace, at schools. It does affect our mental illness. Forget about traumatization of, forget about individuals or children who have been traumatized. Just us normal human beings who we work, I think we should ourselves play a very vital role, because I believe anything we starts off with me. Like what Madam has said, do we really take care of our mental health? Or would we just let alone? With the passing time, I always encourage my staff to think. Because being in a sector where I am from, dealing with lives, we're not dealing with files. And you understand the baggage that we have to carry. So we do get, sometimes we do get, I will not say traumatized, but we do get disappointed. We see children who has been traumatized, it affects us in another level. So I feel like it starts from you and me. How we take care, understanding the person who's there. Empathy also plays a vital role when we talk about mental health. As we talk, as we go forward, sensitivity should be there. That's why work along addressing the issues, and at the same time not only addressing mental health of a particular person but also of the society as a whole, where we play a significant role also in eradicating the stigma that people with mental health still face. Addressing the gaps, treatment gaps also, we need to address the gaps. And I feel that community inclusion, the role of the society should be clearly, it should be in a clear-cut position that each one of us, we are a member of a society and we have a very important role to play for the future generation. Because, like I said, it's you and me, and it starts from us and here right now. In conclusion, I would just like to say that taking care of our mental health is as important as taking care of our physical health. So we prioritize our mental well-being and at the same time prioritize our physical well-being. We enhance our quality of life, build stronger relationships, and create a more compassionate and supportive community. I believe that it starts, a little drop of water can create a mighty ocean. So I believe here each one of us play a vital role in addressing the issue through this seminar coming up, and I wish that through these seminars, maybe policies may be recommended, state policies may be recommended, national policies may be recommended, ways and means where you brainstorm, where we address the issue to the core. Because when we talk about community, it's the community who has to, we have to strengthen the community at all levels, right from the grassroots level, that means the family, to the higher level, wherever, be it the government, the stakeholders, the educational institution that it works on, and a collective and comprehensive approach to think about mental health. How do we go about it? How do people who suffering mental health can get proper access or easy accessibility? All this should come into, we should come as one, so that it's for the betterment of the society. And I take this opportunity also to wish and hope for this seminar to be a very successful one. And thank you once again, and I wish each and every one, all the students who's being a part, both online and offline, all the teachers who's involved, the organizing committee, the board members, each individual who's a part of this seminar will learn and also give their opinions. And through this seminar, I really hope that, and I really wish that something profound will happen, how we go about. So thank you so much for this day, and I'm happy, have a good day ahead. Thank you, Kublai and Mithala. Thank you.
Shubha name jaya